Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. to me nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, it feels so nice. We time.
We are drinking coffee,
You,
not tea.
I know how to make me feel right. I
Okay, we can
can't
hear
help
it.
how. Got this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm
Alrighty.
pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. Good to show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, it feels so nice.
I think we decided that's going to be the name of the show. Type in the comments. We're going to answer your questions today. We've got a few different things to talk about. We're going to start a new series on commuting in the area. And just stay tuned. We've got Design Your Life, of course. We'd like to put that at the end of every show. And we are going to talk about McLean, Virginia. We've had a few questions in the comments around McLean, Virginia. So it is right up the road from us. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm Tracy. And if you are new here, type new you in the comments. We would love to meet you. Sound is low. How's that? How's that? You got to talk into the mic. How's that, guys? You can only hear music, cannot hear Heath at all. What is it?
It's plugged in.
We're having issues. Go ahead and talk again, baby. Let me check it.
I can hear you. I can hear you well in my headphones. I can hear me a little bit.
Music and voice is stopping on my end.
No.
We checked this last night.
It's all right, baby. It's all right.
No, it's not.
You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? Okay, so did you stop the music? The music stopped, right?
The music stopped.
Okay. So since they can't hear me, guess what?
I can't hear Heath.
Do yours. You're gonna have to do it.
Heath is very quiet.
What'd you say about me?
We know that's not true.
What'd you say about me?
Try that.
Don't be talking about me, Kier.
Can you hear Heath now, guys?
Don't be talking about me. What you say about me?
But sound is low.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
We tried all of this last night. I don't know what is going on.
We don't want to give him the clipping.
Oh no.
No. No. No. No. No. No.
Now I'm
Tracy, come in loud and clear though.
Oh Lord.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You just gonna have to do it, baby.
No, let's do this.
It's gonna have to be the Queen Tracy show. Welcome to the Queen Tracy show.
No, we're gonna have to
Welcome.
share the mic. This is gonna be a weird show.
Welcome to the Queen Tracy show. Tracy will be executing the show today, because we all know it's Tracy's show anyway, right? You know, it's Heathen Tracy TV, but we really know that it's Queen Tracy's situation.
Can I take this out? Oh no! Could y'all hear that?
So I can hear myself in the microphone, but they can't hear me. Y'all can't hear me, right? Y'all still can't hear me? No. I'm just talking. I'm chopping it up with you. I'm talking to the audience. They can't hear me.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Type of yes in the chat.
Yes, yeah, or one or something like that.
Tell them type of yes.
Because we're gonna end up using one microphone. I'm gonna do like a. I'm gonna do like we do in the and you still can't hear Heath.
Y'all still can't hear me, right? Nobody can hear me. Just me and Tracy can hear me. Is that right? Nobody can hear.
It's Tracy's mic. Okay, we got it. Okay. All right. So welcome back to Conversations with Heath and Tracy. We moved out. Let me tell y'all what happened. We moved out of our other studio, as he calls it. It was like a part of our bedroom. And we had to pull everything out of this other storage closet we had in our bedroom every weekend. And I was sick of it. I was sick of doing that. I was sick of looking at it all weekend. So I said, well, why don't we move to the room in the house nobody even walks through? So here we are in our living room. There we go. That's the living room, part of it anyway. And we are downstairs. Nobody's on this floor, so it's great. We can talk. We can laugh. It's great. It's great. I love it. So,
She said, "What you gonna say, baby?" Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Conversation with Heath and Tracy. Today we are talking about McLean, Virginia. McLean, as many of you may know, is a suburb of Washington, D.C. with a population of over 47,000 people. It is located in Fairfax County, and it is one of the best places to live in all of the great Commonwealth of Virginia. McLean offers residents a sparse. What you covering up my game? All right, let me go off script. So yeah, McLean is right down the road from us. It offers residents a sparse suburban feel, and most residents own their homes in McLean. Oh, interesting. In McLean, there are a lot of restaurants, coffee shops, and parks. Many retirees live in McLean, and residents there tend to have moderate political views.
I'm gonna show y'all some pictures.
That's like a lot of Northern Virginia, of course. The public schools in McLean are highly rated, so that's just like a little synopsis right there, a little snapshot of the area of McLean. So as some of you may know, Tracy and I are in Arlington. Oh, they got Tracy right there on Cam 1. No, that's Cam 2 right there. Cam 2. Queen Tracy on Cam 2. Looking good. Back to Cam 1. Love it. Love it. For y'all that didn't know, Tracy's also the super producer of the Heath and Tracy Conversation with Heath and Tracy show. Right here, you've seen the map of McLean right there in the middle. Cabot John Bridge, and that's the Potomac River, of course. As you look at Washington, D.C. down here on the bottom right, if you go up and to the left, right, northwest, you'll travel up, and then right there, you can see McLean in the middle. You can see Tyson's Corner right there to the left of McLean. So we talk about Tyson's fairly frequently here on the show. A lot of good shopping in Tyson's right there. And McLean, one of the things about McLean, man, they got some big old houses in McLean if you've never been there. Outside of like townhouses and other stuff. All right, so Tracy's showing right here just kind of the overall grade of McLean. A plus. That's what some of the grades of our audience they used to get the A pluses in school. Y'all remember they used to put the A. Y'all remember they used to put the A pluses on the paper.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
I'm not gonna get the mic back, y'all.
I got the mic. This is my mic. I paid for this mic. So we got an overall grade of A+ in McLean, right? So if you look at it from a category perspective, you got A+ on the schools, B- on housing, and that probably has to do with cost, is my guess, right? Fantastic for families, A+, which makes sense, right? If you look at the public school piece and the overall quality of life, right? Crime and safety is an even. I guess that's how do you read that? It's like crime and safety is negligible, but we've had those conversations. We've had those conversations on the show before. Nightlife B+, diversity B-.
No, diversity. Put it in my face.
Okay.
Diversity should be an F.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, I guess if you look at McLean from it's more of a kind of a class thing, right? So you got to have the bag if you're gonna live out there. Houses are giant. There are some townhouses, some other housing options in McLean, but yeah, it's not super diverse in terms of living out there. When we move around out there, it's not a big deal. We don't feel weird or anything, right? So some of our favorite shopping spots in McLean. Let's talk about cost of living a little bit. Overall cost of living in McLean, right? So if you look at USA on the far right, the top right at 100, Virginia is 103.7, McLean is 203. Look, bring the bag if you want to live in McLean, Virginia. I'm just saying, that's just what it is, right? So we talking about McLean a little bit this morning. Grocery costs a little bit higher. Health costs, slightly below the national average, slightly below the average in Virginia. Housing, USA on the far right, Virginia above the housing cost of the United States. McLean, however, that's 4x, folks. 400 times the cost of living in the USA. So medium home price in the United States is 231,200. State of Virginia is a little bit higher than that at 258. So you got Northern Virginia, you got Southern Virginia. There's a mix there. So take that with a grain of salt, right? Because if you live in Northern Virginia, you definitely bring the bag unless you're identifying some condo scenarios, townhomes, or unless you're on the renting side, right? But if you're gonna buy a house in McLean, Virginia, the median home cost just under $1 million, people. 926,900 US American dollars. Woo, good Lord. All right. Utilities are slightly below. Transportation costs, a little bit higher, right? Because if you live in McLean, if you go to drive into DC, it's going to be a little gas, or if you need to leverage public transportation. So I can see that cost being 125%. All right, I think I'm going to let Queen Tracy have the mic back just for a second.
Hello, guys. As you can see, I'm not going to get the mic back today. So just bear with us. What kind of people live there? Basically, the CIA. That's where the CIA. That's where the CIA lives. I have that slide too. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Who?
Yeah, some doctors out there too.
So about 47,000 people. We already did that one. Let's see. Overall niche grade.
Here, let me hold the mic while you navigate that slide, baby. I want to help out folks out. We talked about that in terms of the left leaning political views of most folks in McLean.
I think that's good.
It is good, yeah, it is good.
We like that.
That means that they're aware, they're educated, they have some pliable mental capacity around politics. Yep. That's fun. That's the commute right there. Okay, so we're looking at the commute times. So that when you say commute times, that's essentially commuting into to DC, baby, from McLean, or just to work in general, right? So you could be in McLean, you could be in Metro, you could be in DC proper, you could be somewhere else in Northern Virginia, right? So that gives you an idea of the commute. So super convenient, right? These are not big times for the majority of the residents of McLean. So that tells me that they're either working in Northern Virginia or they're coming into DC, and so those commute times are very navigable.
Yeah, I think most people live and work in Northern Virginia. A lot of the jobs are here, so I think that's why you see the commute times lower. The thing that you want to understand about living in McLean is it's very suburban. It's just not. It's probably one of the first suburbs around here. Woo! Super chat. Thank you, Russell.
Russell, woo! Russ, we appreciate that, man. You know, we put some prep into the show. We moved the studio. We want to make it really cool for y'all. So the funds are definitely going to improving the show. So we appreciate that, Russ, no doubt.
Okay, let's see if I can get. Go ahead. You can. I'm gonna do. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one. There we go. All right. So real estate, guys, as you can see, the median home value is $1,031,000. The median rent, woo, $3,065. And see, just like I said, sparse suburban, and most people in McLean own their homes.
Yeah, so not a lot of rentals, not a lot of rental opportunity in McLean, but you know they are out there. When Trace and I were looking, when we were in North Carolina and we were about to move here, McLean was one of the places that we were looking in terms of location to Crystal City and what we were trying to identify. And so a lot of those houses were like super big, and the ones that were in our price range we found to be a little older. But you can find some stuff out there if you look hard.
It's very woodsy too. It's like you drive down these streets and it's very woodsy and just very suburban feeling. I think it feels your lots are smaller than Maryland though. So here's another ranking is situation, y'all, just to let y'all know. It's probably one of the best places to live around here. Public schools is number 2 in Virginia. And best places to raise a family is number 13.
Love it, love it. Yeah, what's the school like there that we always hear about? The do you have any names of the schools on the slides, baby?
Yeah, I do, but wait a minute.
Okay, cool. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right.
You asked about who worked in McLean. This is that median household income. And Capital One Finance. So as you all know, Capital One Finance is headquartered out here in Northern Virginia, and a lot of people work there. We have neighbors that work there, so that just gives you an idea of the income level.
Yeah. So to the point, there certainly is a mix of doctors, lawyers, and that kind of thing. Cap One is a big employer in Northern Virginia, and their offices are like out in like Tyson's area, so it's very close to McLean. So that makes sense that that's one of the places where people work out there. They have a big operation in Richmond too. I think actually their corporate HQ is in Richmond, but they have multiple buildings in Metro DC. So if you're in that financial sector, Cap One definitely take a look. They are a big employer here.
Yeah, I think people sleep on the fact that this is a financial center too. It's not just government. It's not just government contracting, which I'm sure that's another big part of that community. But you also have a big financial center. There's also a big. There's just a lot of things that are connected to the government, but not necessarily government, and it's not. It's becoming a tech hub too.
Yeah, that's a great call, baby. So yeah, there probably definitely some tech people out there as well. And real talk. I always tell people, regardless of what industry you're in, your business is now a tech business. So keep that in mind as well, right? And so just thinking about companies that are doing business out here, you have to be leveraging technologies and moving faster and recreating your environment so that you can be more competitive with your competition. So hey, tech. All companies are tech, as we like to say in tech. Top public schools serving McLean, Virginia. We got McLean High. Langley is the one that I was trying to think about. Very stellar reputation around here, Langley High School, right? And so, if you ever see the movies and they talk about, hey, they're out at Langley, that's CIA headquarters. So that's what Tracy was alluding to earlier, right? So people are, they have kind of like their own situation over there. I think we talked about that in one of the episodes, right? So sometimes when we moving around, we driving down the road, and you see like the CIA headquarters over there on the right. Don't slow down. Don't be trying to turn up in there tomorrow. Can we? Oh, we were just looking. We were just trying to turn around and see what this was about. You're gonna be on the lockdown for a second because they got to make sure that you ain't out here clowning. Nobody lives in Langley, but yes, Langley High School, Meridian High, Haycock Elementary, Colvin Run Elementary. So those are some of the top schools, top public schools in McLean. So just want to call that out. Places like McLean. Okay. Suburb of Maryland called Washington Grove. They got an A on that one. South Kensington, another suburb of Maryland. Got an A plus. Okay, we might have to check that out, baby. South Kensington. Potomac. We've talked about Potomac, Maryland on this show. North Chevy Chase. We've also talked about Chevy Chase on this show. Love it, love it. Places like McLean, very cool. So there's some other folks, some other places y'all can check out if you like the McLean vibes, but you want to see what maybe that looks like on the Maryland side. There you go. What you gonna pull up now, baby? Queen Tracy looking good this morning, y'all. What y'all think?
These are condos for sale, guys, as you can see. And I always try to pull up the new stuff for you. So you can get a regular, regular, it's going to be older, but most of the stuff is going to be semi updated. So this is 310,000. So you can live in a great community. Only 1,000 square feet, but when you go older, when you go to these older buildings, guy, you're gonna get more room. Like when you see 280,000 for 797, that's a lot of room for one person. And then you've got almost 1,000 square feet over here if you want a bedroom and an office and a bath. And then you've got let's see, we've got 649,000 for a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Then let's see what else we got here. Let's look at rentals if I can find it.
Go ahead, Queen Tracy. Pull your stuff up, cause you know Queen Tracy be doing her thing, out here. What we got right here, baby?
No, these are expensive houses.
These expensive. 440K over here for this 2-2.
That's not bad.
What's that? That's probably a condo in that building there, right?
Yeah, that's condo. This is not bad. I don't know why this house is only $995,000. I guess maybe because it's only a 3 bedroom. It's a smaller home, but look how beautiful it is. I think this is a great buy for McLean right here. I know it's but see, 3 bedroom, 3.5 bath, and you got 2,700 square feet. That's a nice house. And then this one is the mega house over here, $4.2 million.
Bring the bag. But yeah, back to that one in the middle, right? So relatively speaking, $1 million being a good price for a house. And I think the caveat there is 27,000 square foot house. I'm sorry, 2,700 square foot house, and the lot is 4,200. So don't think you're gonna be like running around chasing the kids in the yard, throwing the frisbee. That's not what's happening right there. But in terms of location, to Tracy's point, it looks like a beautiful home. Probably 20, 30 years old, and it'll be gone in a week.
And here's some rentals, guys. As you can see, like I said, they're fairly updated, even if they're older. So that's why I took these inside shots. You're going to see older homes. I mean, older apartment buildings. They don't have very many new apartment buildings in McLean. So, but what you do see, they will show updated. But it's still going to be $2,000. But at least you'll be able to find a 1 bedroom. That's the cool thing about being in the older buildings. If you're looking at $2,000 in the newer buildings, it's going to be a teeny tiny studio apartment.
Yes. So there you go. Right. So back in the day when Tracy and I lived here in the '80s, right? You look in an old building, you go on the inside, it was old in there too. It was not the plethora of renovation and updated situations that you have in today's environment. So that's good stuff right there. You want to jump into the questions, baby, into the comment section? Let's see what's happening with the audience today. My man Russ, shout out. Appreciate the super chat again, Russ. Appreciate your service as always, my man. Adam Shelton, what's going on? And look at Adam got a new picture today. Adam changed the picture game up. I see you out there, Adam. Adam said, okay, let me give y'all another beach shot. Let me put the dumps on. My boy Joaquin from Jacksonville, he's like, man, what kind of dumps you got on, dog? Let me see them dumps. So that's what my man Joaquin from Jacksonville calls sunglasses. I see you. What's going on? Hey, Christian Marino. Kristen was helping us get our sound check in order this morning. We appreciate that. So we talked about the kind of people that live in McLean. So I hope we answer your question for you, Christian. So essentially, you have a lot of professionals, doctors, attorneys, of course, right? But the financial sector is also very strong in McLean, and you also probably have some people that are operating in tech in that space, in that area. Care 007, OG to the show. What's up, Care? Yep. There probably some plastic surgeons out there as well. There probably definitely some government contractor and ballers out there. I completely agree with you. Definitely, if you in McLean, bringing the bag out there. Queen Tracy has something to say.
Y'all see, he won't let me hold the mic.
I'm holding the mic.
Y'all think Heath is so nice and pleasant. This is
Heath is nice and pleasant.
okay. Give me the mic. So there are a lot of professional athletes. That's where they live. If you wonder where, the Caps, the hockey players, the basketball players, and the football players, they live. A lot of them live in McLean.
Okay, Queen Tracy dropping a little knowledge on y'all right there about the local athletic game. All right. Oh, my man, Crop 919. Look, if y'all don't know what 919 is, understand that's the Raleigh Durham area of North Carolina, where Trace not lived for more than 10 years. Shout out to my man Crop 919. Kid say, "Yay, Russell!" She was supporting us on the super chat game.
Yeah,
she was charging up my man Russ. Appreciate y'all, both of y'all OGs. Christian Moreno, is there a playlist on your channel where you guys talk more about tech, specifically the tech industry in Northern Virginia, or more about Amazon?
Okay, talk about it.
Let me breathe. Well, actually, Christian, Trace and I are we are enacting a couple of new shows as well. This month they are coming, right? So one is going to be around relationships and marriage, right?
Nice.
So we're calling that one kind of marriage money mindset, marriage Mondays. We got a couple code names that we're working through. So that'll be on Mondays, and Tech Tuesdays is coming as well, right? So I'm going to be taking your questions, diving into some subjects that are germane to the tech space, right? And so, yes, I do work for Amazon. I work for AWS, so I do sell cloud all day, every day in my day job, and
night.
So at night sometimes. That's funny, Tracy. And so, yeah, we'll be getting into that, and so glad to help wherever we can, right? Whether you're looking to pivot into tech, whether you're in tech and you're looking to up level. If you're in tech and maybe you're looking to kind of target some of the famed companies, talk about the mental models and what you have to do to be prepared to go into some of these interviews and get some of these, really sought after roles. So absolutely, that the information is coming. All right.
So let me tell them how to look for it. So the way you're going to look for that, guys, is I'm creating the schedule basically now. So what you'll see in YouTube is the thumbnail showing the schedule of those shows. So you'll see a different look, like you see our thumbnail for the DMV and what that looks like. And what you'll see is the thumbnail for the Marriage Money Mindset show. And then you'll see the thumbnail for Heath's Tech Tuesday show. We haven't decided what we're going to call it yet. Give us some ideas. And what you'll see in your YouTube, if you're subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Hit that like button. Okay. If you subscribe, you will get the notifications and turn on the bell too. What'll happen is it'll show you those different shows. We are not going to start another channel. We've been working on this channel for years, and we just kind of look at it as the Heath and Tracy TV show. And we really like the fact that we can talk about anything on this show, that the people, our tribe that follow us, they want to hear us talk about different things. So that's why we decided just to go ahead and pivot. We're going to continue to talk about living in the DMV because we love it here, and we love for people to understand what it's like to live here. I hear a lot of things about living here, and we just want to debunk a lot of that. The other thing is our main thing is Marriage Money Mindset. Joyfully Married After is our podcast. You can hear that on anywhere you listen to podcasting, and we're starting that up for the fall season, but we'll be doing them live. So basically that's where Joyfully Married After is going. We just haven't decided what we're going to call the YouTube show. And then Tech Tuesdays is going to be Heath's thing. I'll be in the background with the banter kind of thing because that's his baby. He is an expert at it. If you want to have one-on-ones with us about any of these things, go to heathandtracy.com. Actually, the new website isn't ready to go live yet. It's almost there, but it'll have our calendar. It'll have our count. If you go in the description after the show, you'll see the calendar basically. So that's where we're headed. So let us know what other ideas you have and when you want to talk to us. I am working on getting little buttons so you guys can come into the show and talk to us during the show. So we're getting to that, and your super chats really, really help us with all of that.
Thank you, Tracy.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, we got a little transition in the show. No transition today. Why don't we put a pin in the Yeah, because I think Care asked about it. Care. Got to take care of the OGs. So, as you guys know, I like to give flowers out. Right? We appreciate our audience. We appreciate you guys rocking with us every Saturday. Queen Tracy is bringing in the arrangement for the day. So yes, your man Heath was out in the yard this morning. I know, baby, because you don't want the bugs in them. You got the you click the button. So yes, okay, yeah. So they're wet because I submerged them in water to make sure I get any of the kind of small spiders and bugs out there. So we got a little. My oldest daughter calls me Montel Stewart. So we got the nice, clean, simple Montel Stewart hydrangea game for y'all this morning. How about that? Fresh out of the yard. Okay. Get your equipment dropping. You good. So I hope y'all like the flowers because it's a symbolic gesture to y'all because I'm giving y'all flowers. We appreciate y'all. All right, we're going to talk about commuting now. The next section of the show, we're talking about commuting, Return to the office, rethinking commutes, the pandemic era experiment with remote work now in its 18th month. Wow. Has created one of the biggest disruptions to the American commute in memory. As more workers gradually return to the office this fall, many are rethinking how and how often they will get there while reconsidering commuting habits years in the making. So in this article, we're talking about.
So we're gonna do this in a series, guy, because the Washington Post did a really good article on this, and I just thought the different people that they talked to and their different ways of commuting. Oh, got a super chat. Gotta find it. There it is. Woo, boo, Care 007. I don't think my noises are working today. I don't. Oh, I can hear that. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We love the flower moment. Heath makes it a part of his Saturday mornings for you guys, and we just love it. We like sharing our yard with you. Okay. So back to the commute thing. So basically, we're going to talk about a few people. Let's go ahead and start with this young woman. Hold on. You got to hold this while I read it. So go ahead and finish doing this.
Yeah, no doubt. Did we know her? Zenitha Wickham.
He think he know everybody, y'all.
Zenitha Wickham Hurley expects to continue teleworking from her home in Baltimore some days so she can have more flexible time with her children, including her son Carter. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Go ahead and tell him about Zenitha.
Okay, we're gonna talk. Tracy's gonna tell y'all about Zenitha.
So she was driving before the pandemic, and now she's mostly teleworking and doing some driving. She said that she's a senior at her. She works at the Maryland Attorney General's office, and she's 3 kids, y'all. So she said she was. It was a 15-minute driving commute that could stretch up to an hour each way, and that's with backups because driving in this area can be like that. And she says combined with kid drop-offs and pickups, if you all know anything about that. So she said she's an Attorney General Chief's Counsel for Civil Rights. You guys are asking about who works in this area. And she actually lives in Baltimore and works in downtown Baltimore. And she says she's not certain when she'll return to her downtown Baltimore office, but she's ready to relinquish the stressful drive for more often to continue some telework long term. She says, quote, there hasn't been a day when I've said I miss commuting. She said since teleworking full time beginning in March 2020, she says I almost feel like a different person. I can relate to that. I can relate to not having the ins and outs of getting up and doing the same thing as far as commuting and stuff. Money saved on gas and parking during the pandemic has gone toward paying off her student loans. Ooh, that's so smart. She said lunch breaks at home during the summer brought extra time with her 10-year-old. She often starts fixing dinner while wrapping up a work call. That's really smart.
Love that. I love that. Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. Right, doing the commuting, doing the telecommuting has been different for me, right? Because I've been more of an in office type of person over the last 10, 12, 15 years, 20 years maybe. But Tracy's had a virtual role actually for the last 13 years. So it's been different. It's been like semi-normal for Tracy. But for me, it's been very different working at home every day, all day. Right. I remember when Tracy first started working from home. I'll tell y'all a story, y'all. When Tracy's role first went from being in office to working virtually, they were like, "Yo, you don't have a desk in the office anymore. Here's your gear. Work from home. Lock into your network, so forth." And so I think Tracy had been working virtually for about a week. And I hit her up when I was leaving the office. Hey, baby, I'm gonna stop by the grocery store and pick up so and so. So she was like, "I want to go. I want to go." I was like, "I'm going like to the Harris Teeter, baby. Like just on the way home, I'll grab this. See, come get me first." So that was just kind of funny. Yeah. But so you definitely make these adjustments, and you find ways to one be more efficient with what you're doing from a work perspective, and also spending more time with your family. Or those are the things that you need to do. So I think it's really cool, right? Because hey, if you need to have your dinner and have your family time and go back and pick up a little bit of work, later in the evening, you have that flexibility now that you're working from home. So there you go. You want to talk about this person, Tracy?
So this is Carrie Blau. She lives in Brunswick, Maryland, and she's 44 years old. She says, "I used to take the MARC train, but it's been catching a ride with a friend since she returned to the office in July. And before the pandemic, she was taking the MARC train, and now she's driving and seeking more telework. So Carrie returned to office at a DC museum in July, but hasn't returned to riding the MARC commuter rail. Blau, who lives in Brunswick, Maryland, has been sharing a ride with a friend who's parking spaces downtown. So I think it's really interesting that she works at a museum, but she can still telework. We have to share our experience at the museum. I don't think I have video of that though, because I didn't want to put her on the spot. But we went to a museum recently in the last few weeks, and the person, you walk into the museum, you want to know where to go and everything. Well, it was weird because we walked in, there was a lady on a television screen, and she was like, "Hi." And then we were like, "Oh, so you can see us?" And she was like, "Yeah." And we just started having a conversation with her about which way we should go and everything. So I just thought it was really cool that she could be at home and still help the people that were at the museum. So that's probably something on what Carrie does. And she says she hopes she'll be allowed to return to teleworking a couple days a week, especially when she needs to write or do research without disruption. Because you work at a museum, you're doing a lot of that. And says with lighter traffic during the pandemic, she said the drive takes an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, she lives an hour and 20 minutes from her job.
They used to take us that long to get home.
Oh,
When we worked in
yeah. And yeah, Atlanta. Yeah. Atlanta. But she expects she will return to the train as soon as traffic picks up. So this is not going to last. Once more people go back to work, she says the traffic is going to get crazy. She's going to get back on that MARC train. So we were telling you how you can live out in the suburbs. It's still suburban. It's still accessible. And you just get on the MARC train very much like it is in the Northeast corridor with Philly and New York and the suburbs of New York into Connecticut. It's very much like that here. And so that was what we were going to talk about as far as commuting is concerned. And we'll do this every weekend. We'll do this every weekend until we get through all the different people, because I thought this was a good article because it shows a lot of different people's situations and living here and everything.
Yeah, I love that, baby. And I think that people can also extrapolate kind of what their experiences would be themselves based on where some of these stories are connected to folks that live in the area. So I think that's really cool that we're highlighting that. So it makes a lot of sense. What's going on, Bucket 88? We appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Ree agrees with me that Tracy does look good. Look, I hit jackpot. I definitely outkicked my coverage, as they say. Man, Russ. What's up, Kimmy?
Welcome to the channel, Kimmy-o. Welcome so much. Yay. I one. Let's see this one. There we go. There we go. It says, "Hi, I'm new to your channel. Love your content. I'm moving from Houston, Texas to downtown Bethesda." Oh my gosh, downtown Bethesda is so freaking cool. "To be closer to my family in Maryland and my daughter who lives in New York City." Is that a lively area? It most definitely is. We go to Bethesda Road, not too far from there all the time. We have friends that live in downtown Chevy Chase, which is not that far. Downtown Bethesda is they're actually building the new Marriott headquarters there. Not sure how much they're going to use it, but they're building. It's probably one of the first tall. Well, it's probably going to be the tallest building down there now. But we actually looked at a home and bid on a home in the downtown Bethesda area, and we lost out on it. But we were choosing that area because you can literally walk to everything. You can walk to everything in downtown Bethesda. You've got the red line right there. It's just a really cool place to live in Bethesda that's still very urban and very urban feel, but not too urbanish, if you understand what I'm saying. We've sat on a sidewalk and eaten at True Food. There's a True Food in that area, so that just gives you an idea of what it feels like there. Very, very nice area. You're really going to enjoy it. It's very different from Houston. Very different from Houston. Yeah.
H Town, I hear you, Kimmy. Another point I wanted to make. Could you put Kimmy's back post back up, baby? Another thing I wanted to say to Kimmy O was with respect to your daughter living in New York. That commute is just phenomenal, right? When you can just buzz over to Union Station and jump on that Excella, that train is like smooth, man. It's like that thing riding on shock absorbers. I mean, that thing just be floating, and it gets up to like 160. I think it gets up to like 160 miles an hour, but it doesn't feel like it when you're on it. But yeah, I took that train, and I mentioned it a couple times on the show, and it just reminded me, right? Just opened up a whole nother world for me. And like, yo, we could just like jump on the train, buzz up to New York, and kick it for a weekend. Or if you have family in, Connecticut or Massachusetts or Philly, I mean, it is or Delaware, right? It's super simple to buzz over to Union Station, even if you don't have a car, right? You jump on the metro, you get over to Union Station, jump on the Excella. You don't have to like go through TSA and all that stuff. You just kind of show them your ticket, roll up in there, and sit down. You got Wi-Fi on the train. You can take a nap. You got more space to move around in the seat. And that thing stopped one or two times, and it's rolling. And next thing you know, you're in New York. So just wanted to shout out Amtrak and the Acela. Kimmy, has another question? Okay. Also, could you talk about the cultural differences between Maryland and Virginia? Really wanted to live in the district, but it seems you get more for your money living outside the district. Well, Kimmy, that is a very interesting take. Let me tackle these in a couple parts. Right. So culturally, living in Maryland, depending on what part of Maryland you're in, especially like if you're in PG County or some of the areas that are really close to Metro DC, uh, your experience is going to be deeper with brown people than it will be with other folks, right? Just because of the concentration of people in PG County, right? And so, brown people in PG County are balling, right? So these are your professionals. These folks are doing all kinds of cool things, right? Whether they're doctors, lawyers, government workers, government contractors, entrepreneurs, people that work in tech, right? The full gamut of folks are in Maryland and in PG County. So that living experience, I would say, would be slightly different than what it would be in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia, I would say, would be a little bit lighter in terms of your neighbors. But in general, just throughout the DMV, it's just super multicultural, right? There's just like all kind of folks everywhere you go. So just because that's maybe, so what I'm really identifying, what I'm really highlighting here is sort of what your neighbors might look like. But in terms of just the vibe throughout the district, Northern Virginia or Maryland, right, it's all super multicultural. You're going to see all kinds of folks no matter where you are, right? So from all over the world. So it's really cool in that regard, hearing different languages, right? People are just out here executing, enjoying life with their families, moving around, museums, restaurants, whatever it is, right? This is just a whole vibe, and that's one of the reasons that Queen Tracy and I love it. As it relates to getting more for your money, I would say that if you're saying that in the context of like the size of your home and that kind of thing. It really depends on what you're looking for, right? Because if you're looking for a townhome scenario or a condo scenario, you're going to get similar square footage whether you're in the district or not in the district. Now, you probably be a little bit tighter in most places in the city. But there's some newer construction over like on the waterfronts, let's say like in the Navy Yard area, where maybe your 1-1 or your efficiency scenarios might be just as big as it might be in other parts of Metro DC in Northern Virginia or Maryland. So that's something to keep in mind.
So what I wanted to say about the money part is that living in Maryland, I what I see is you definitely get more land. You don't necessarily get a bigger space to live in, but you definitely get more space around you. Now, when you talk about Bethesda, I think it's still going to be a little bit tighter the closer you are to DC. As you move further out, it's going to feel more like Northern Virginia, Arlington. Like I said, you have to get all the way to McLean to get more land. Arlington, Alexandria, most of Fairfax County is going to be a little bit denser. That's what you're really talking about is density. So when you go out to PG County, it's not as dense. So that's why you get such a big house and you get so much more land out there. So that's what's cool about PG County. Montgomery County is a combination of Silver Spring, goes all the way over to Potomac. Bethesda's included in that, Gaithersburg, Rockville. So that's Montgomery County, and you're going to get more land in those areas. We have friends that live in Burtonsville, Gaithersburg, North Potomac, Potomac, uh, downtown Chevy Chase. So when you talk about those areas, you're going to get a little bit more. Our friends that live in Chevy Chase have a huge apartment. And it's on a very high floor, very, very nice, but it overlooks a really cute neighborhood where it's close. The houses are close. So it's going to be like that in Virginia too. I think you have more as far as the people and the culture between the difference. It's just not much difference. DMV is different. Our friends tease us because we live in Virginia. We don't live in Maryland. They literally all live. We have one set of friends that lives in Virginia. Well, we have two sets of friends that live in Virginia. Everybody else lives in Maryland, and it's because it's old school. It's an old school vibe. Uh, Virginia has been considered more southern than Maryland, but in reality, they're both very southern. Khadijah, hey, cuz. Y'all, this is my cousin, y'all. You are so welcome, Kimio. Let's see. Here's another question. Do you guys have any tips for finding work in the area? I keep striking out. That's very interesting.
Yeah, MS, I can probably help you with that. Maybe so a couple thoughts. One is you probably want to maybe give some thoughts to updating the resume and how that looks, right? So that you're presenting your best foot forward, right? So if you need some help with that, definitely hit me offline. I can point you in the direction to give you some help there. And then two, I think a lot of it has to do with how you're approaching the interviews, right? And so just understanding what the recruiters are looking for, what people are looking for with these various roles, making sure that you're lining up your skills with the respective roles that you're identifying. So I know some people that work in that space. I can give you a couple tips, and I can point you towards some people. So just hit me offline on that on the down in the show notes.
Yeah, and he's been really successful with hooking people up with these two people. They have actually hit him back, and the people that he's referred, they've been like, "Oh my gosh, this is a wonderful service!" And so there are ways to improve your situation. So definitely don't give up. There's still a lot of work here. There are a lot of people that work here, and it's fairly. You just want to look at what you're doing. That's what I would say about that. And then let's see. Hi, Incredible Na. Welcome to the show. Hi. Do you guys know if if the DMV is great for land developers? Woo. So there's land is scarce around here. Bring the bag and the coins for purchasing around here right now. Now, if you want to develop on single family home plots, you're going to start at least $500,000 for that piece of land. And that's just about anywhere in the city, unless you're going to go further out. If you're going to go further out, it'll be a little bit more normal. But as far as developing, from what I understand, there is a shortage of homes in the DC area. I think they said DC itself is 40,000 units short. So yes, the answer is yes as far as developing. I would love to get into developing. That's like a thing I've always dreamt about. I used to work for a developer. So I understand the ins and outs of it. And, I can spot a horrible development a mile away. So I think developing is, can I?
Look, Queen Trace is a multifaceted, multi-talented, obviously beautiful inside and out woman. And yes, she knows the game around the real estate development. So, what we see a lot around our house and around the area is sort of infill development, right? And so people are taking the ramblers, the old school cottages, the whatever that they can find, right? And so, yeah, here's 800,000, here's 900,000. Okay, here's so now you own the house, so now you knock it down, right? And then, or you just let it sit and you put a sign in front of it, and then what they do is hey, they'll essentially advertise a custom home on that lot, right? And so the architectural real estate firms will kind of have the information out there, and then what you'll do is you'll work with people around what it is, what their vision is, and so essentially what happens after that, once you go to contract, is you knock the house down, you take the custom plans, you build that thing, and so you spent 800-900 grand on the old house, you knocked it down, you put the new property up, and $2.5 million, $3 million, $3.2 million, $3.5 million, $4 million. Here you go. So that's how they do the game around here.
So I forgot I wanted to talk about the DC Jazz Fest, y'all. DC Jazz Fest is going on this weekend, and a few things I wanted to bring out. It's going on down at the wharf. I don't have any pictures. Not really interested in being around people like that, but if you see the link here, if I can put, you, yeah, it's live streaming. I think they just want you to donate. They just want you to donate. I think it's $5 or something. So it's really cool. I'm not gonna do the live stream here because I think that would be a violation. So DC Jazz Fest is going on, and I think the cool thing about it is you can see what's going on in our area as far as everything is concerned. I do want to bring up that they had restrictions. This area is not playing with the panorama, so you have to show full proof of vaccination and or a negative test. That is the norm around here. They're not playing with the panorama. So I think that, and that's within the past 72 hours. Everywhere we've gone that has been event like this is this is common. My cousin's getting married in a couple weeks, and she's doing this for her wedding. So I just think that this is, if you want to talk about culture in this area, if you want to talk about what people are like in this area, I'd have to point out that this is something that we do in this area. We wear our things on our faces. I don't want to get into the verbiage because they tag your video and everything. But I did want to point that out. But yeah, go check out dcjazzfest.org /live stream and donate. Donate a couple dollars. And they've got a great lineup tonight and tomorrow. They've had it for a couple days, but it's really, really gearing up today. I think everything starts a little at about 2 o'clock today. So jump in there and watch that live stream. I think you'll enjoy that. Go ahead and hit that like button if there's anything that you like that you're hearing today. Hit subscribe and you'll get notifications with that bell, and you'll get notifications around what we're doing and what else we have going on. Keep that in mind, okay? All right.
You good, baby? Do your thing. It's all good, baby. We out here on Saturday morning helping the people, showing them what's happening. What are we gonna do now? We doing Design Your Life? Do y'all hear music? What do you want to do? Queen Tracy is putting it together. Okay, so we were talking about Goodish Frozen Custard and treats owner Brandon Bird. So Tracy and I actually have been to this place once or twice, and it is very cool, right? So it's down in Old Town Alexandria. And if you guys ever been to Old Town or know about Old Town, right, just outside of DC, that whole area right along the Potomac, beautiful, picturesque, tree-lined streets, cobblestone streets. I mean, Old Town, there's a lot of history, right? It's just before you get down into Mount Vernon, down there where G Dub used to live. But
He's so silly.
But yeah, so this is a really cool spot right there. Had a line out the door. Um, Brandon actually started out working his family's farm, learning the value of ownership and hard work, and why both would be important for the rest of his career. Before opening Goody's Frozen Custard and Treats, he worked a high profile magazine with a. Go ahead, man.
So before before he opened this, guys, and it's such a cool place. It's in the middle of a neighborhood. You can't really tell from this picture, but it's literally in the middle of a regular neighborhood, like houses across the street and everything. And it's a block off the main drag in Old Town, Alexandria. He took an old ice house and he refurbished it into this ice cream shop. You don't go inside. The line is usually outside, and they've got great seating outside too. Such a cute spot. I think I have pictures somewhere. I'm gonna have to start posting stuff on Instagram again. But he used to work at Double XL or XXL magazine, shaking hands with stars like Jay Z and Ludacris. He's done design. He's designed marketing campaigns for Red Bull and Bacardi. I think he's from an HBCU because we rolled up in there with Howard hat and we got a little hate happening. I'm not going to say which HBCU because we got love for all of them, but we were getting a little haterade. But it was all jokingly. We got a little extra service with it. It was kind of cool, but they he said Bird wanted more to life. So in 2012, he bought a 1952 Metro van dubbed Gigi, and the rest is history. So he used to be in like a truck, and then he moved to this 100-year-old ice house in Old Town, and it's just so cool. It's just very, very nice to see businesses like this thriving in this area. There is so much acceptance. There's so much support, and what I want to say about this area is that as a black person, it's nice to see our lighter persuasion counterparts supporting us and being intentional about supporting us. I think it's important to know. And I just love the fact that this is an ice house and he's serving custard, and the custard is so good. It's homemade. He's got some really cool things. So if you're ever in the area, go check out Goody's Frozen Custard, and no, this is not a paid thing. So they do want you to know he's 42 years old and he's single. I don't know why that's important. I guess he wants everybody to know. And then he lives in Fort Washington. So we talked about Fort Washington yet? It's PG County. Fort Washington is cool because it's right across the river. So you wonder, well, why is this business in Alexandria and he lives in Fort Washington? It's literally right there. That's why. His bachelor's in kinesiology from the University of Wisconsin, and he used to work on his family farm. So that's what we want to talk about. As far as you guys always ask about having a black business here in the area and how is it supported and everything. It's hugely, hugely supported. Let me see if I can go back to the right camera. I spent the day moving and didn't work on setting up the show, so apologies.
No, you good, babe. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. What we're gonna get into now, babe? It is now the time to design your life with Heath and Tracy. We're not being spacey, but we are dropping knowledge for the people that also may have gone to college.
You did a little.
We are talking about designing your life.
You did a real good one.
And I did what, baby? I did a good what?
You were talking about. You did a real good rap.
I did a real good rap.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to fix this.
Trey's over here doing straight Canva action on the screen in real time.
Sorry, guys.
You good, baby?
Okay, that's it.
Design your life with Heath and Tracy. So if you're tired of being nice doing the panorama,
Can I say something? I am.
we have 5 tips for you that can help. Right, so like all of us, as we alluded to earlier, right? It's been many months, right? We're actually approaching 2 years in the panorama now, and you probably do have some fatigue around just kind of navigating things, staying even, right? Many of us have struggled in one way or another, in from a mental perspective, and just kind of not being in the melees, or maybe feeling down or bluesy. People like me that need that in social engagement, whatever it is, right? And so, one of the things that we always try to do on this show is to really help our audience around this mental space, right? And so, in this particular scenario, I think Queen Tracy wants to say something.
What are the 5 things that can help them be less impatient with their coworkers and work situations these days? What 5 things can help them with their lack of empathy? Help me. Help me.
Help me help you. So, the first thing is stay curious. When you start to notice the signs of compassion fatigue or feeling like you are all out of empathy, start to question why. I used to be so patient with this person, but they pissing me off now. So what you want to do is, hey, just kind of have some self-awareness, right? So are you struggling with your own challenges? Are you feeling burned out? Are there workplace or other issues that need to be addressed? So by exploring your own feelings, you may get answers.
The next one's identify the needs and meet them. What does that mean? Once you have an idea why you're getting impatient and feeling less empathy, you can start to look for solutions. You want to say, what needs are not being met? That's a good question. I think that's a really good say. Let's say you're punctual by nature, and meetings are now routinely starting late because people are less aware of starting on time. People just being really, really lax these days. I do have to say that. And they're in the meeting and they're not paying attention. I don't know how many times somebody said, "What do you think, Trace?" I'd be like, "Can you repeat that?" And it's just like, I want them to repeat it. One, because I probably did space out a little bit, and two, I want to make sure that I answer it correctly. I don't get embarrassed when someone asks me a question in a meeting and I don't hear it completely, because you got 15, 20 people on a call and people talking for 20 minutes. You're just like, you zone out sometimes. It's okay. Um, you want to basically make sure that whatever you identified as missing, you meet that and you take care of that. The third thing is be aware of perfectionism. Woo, run from perfectionism. There is no such thing. Striving for your workplace interactions to be the same as they were before the pandemic, forget about it. Forget it. When you say that, babe, the more we try to be perfect, the less perfect we will most likely be in the eyes of others. Because one, it's just really apparent you're trying to be perfect, and it gets. I have teammates like that. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that. They want everything a certain way. They want everything perfect, and it's literally gotten to a point where people are like complaining about people. And when I talk to one of the managers, it's just like, I get this all the time. And you just, people have a short fuse. And so just break it down. Be a little bit more relaxed about things and try to get people to understand. So be aware of your stressors that are linked to a desire for everything to be perfect, and then try to manage some of those expectations if they're not realistic. Okay. And if you have a hard time doing that, show yourself some compassion too. The fourth thing is to set boundaries. Boundaries are so important at home, in the workplace. Empathy is not a one-way street. So if you're in a workplace environment where the expectation is to try to understand others' needs, being open about your own is one way to find a resolution. And that's just so good. Mirroring people, I think, it's just so good. In my past life, my profession was consistently mirroring people. And I think that when I was a real estate agent within a developer, I was the person you walk into the model home and they were in there and they sold you a home. And it says, if somebody that I work with is going through a really, really hard time and whatever it is they're going through, recognize first you can't fix it. You can be supportive, you can make suggestions, tools, resources. This work, just listen. But you can't make the situation better for them. So don't try. Just be empathetic to their situation, I think. And the last thing is, guys, take care of yourself, please. That's why we have this part of the show, just to remind you to take care of yourself. It's so hard to get caught up in our current day. This is the new normal. Let's just keep it real. This is the new normal. You can burn out from being frustrated all the time. If you go into traffic, if you go and the customer service isn't right at a restaurant, or just being impatient with people because they're not doing things like you're doing. Anger has left my body. I'm just going to be honest here. I don't get angry at anything anymore. I find myself being more sensitive, which is weird for me because I'm just not built that way. Is he laughing? I think you're laughing. You're clearly laughing. But look, is he laughing? You're laughing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, be sure you're probably be sure you're probably taking care of yourself. Take time to reset, alleviate stress, do yoga, take walks. We've talked about this before. Even if it's just 5 minutes of meditation. We love to turn on a couple of things in the morning before we get our day started. We turn on that meditation music that you can play. I've been thinking about starting a channel just for that because I love it. And then whatever. So don't start things that are going to wear you down. Don't try to start things you're just going to be so worn out. It's going to give you extra, you know, yeah, care. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be a conversation later on today. Uh but this is what he does. It's just like, okay, whatever. This is my life, y'all. So, thank you. Oh, wait, we got a couple questions here. Wait.
I got something to say before you get into that.
Yeah, we need two mics.
I got something to say before you get into that. Can you scroll back up for me to number 5? Yeah, so I love this piece, and I just wanted to no, scroll back up. Yeah, so I just wanted to say, no, yeah, you're right. You had it right.
I know I had it right.
Because Queen Tracy's right most of the time.
Virgo season. Virgo season in the house. I am a Virgo if you haven't recognized that by now. Virgo season in the house, and yes, we're always right.
Y'all see me, right?
This is an argument.
So, but I just wanted to say, connected to the ways that you feel, right? I love that quote that says something to the effect of be kind because everyone has a challenge, right? And so I was really reminded of that when I saw this thing on the internet recently that said the whole world is understaffed. Be nice to the people that show up. But that's the same theme here, right? It's just sort of like, you have to take a moment, breathe, right? You don't need to be out here getting impatient with people and tying into the drama, right? It's all about how you perceive it, and just be empathetic, right? Everybody's going through something out here, so I just wanted to call that out. Cool, my man Russ. Russ said, "What is it like in Brunswick, Maryland, Harper's Ferry, West Virginia?" Okay.
It's far.
Oh, Brunswick. I know Brunswick, Georgia. I don't actually know Brunswick. Is that that's Maryland? Yeah.
It's far. It's
Yeah.
very bucolic. It's very bucolic.
Bucolic. Yeah. Oh, bucolic. I don't know what that is.
It's very serene. It's very harkening back to the old days. It's very untouched. But I think since the pandemic, a lot of people have moved out that way. So I'm sure it's a lot more expensive than it used to be. Harper's Ferry is like the edge of the DMV. Brunswick is like the edge of the DMV. Harper's Ferry is beautiful. It's mountainous out there. If you've never been, I haven't been in years. Hagerstown, same thing. It's far. It's going to snow out there before it snows here. It's just the culture is
Well, it's been a long time since I've been out
it's been a long time since we've been out there, but it's very bucolic. We'll have to look up some of those areas for you. We haven't really gotten into what I call the exurbs because those are exurbs to us. So it's like it's not even like I guess it could be a day trip, but I wouldn't. I would take a day trip out there. I would take a day trip out there. Yeah, it's I would take it, but it's still considered part of the DMV, most definitely. Um, Team Earth Signs, Team Earth Signs. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Share this out to your friends that are moving to the area. Just share the channel out in general. Just say, hey, I love this channel because we got new shows coming for you. This is our hobby. This is the thing that we do together. This is something that we enjoy. And we love that you chose to join us this morning. You could have been doing just about anything else. Just so you know, what we do after the show is we talk about it a little bit and we do a little post mortem and we go to brunch because that's what we do in the DMV. Stay safe, stay safe out there. Pray for those that are struggling with whatever they're struggling with. We love you. Oh, we got another question. Logan, what's up, Logan? What's the question? Is I got the mic. I got the mic, y'all. Is Fairfax, Virginia or Columbia, Maryland a good place to live? Fairfax, Virginia is really nice, as is Columbia, Maryland. We did a whole show on Columbia, and we've done Alexandria, Falls Church, Reston. We did Loudoun County. We just did McLean. All of those are in Fairfax. So when you say Fairfax, think of it as a county, okay? And then Columbia is going to be that city vibe, town vibe.
Yeah, on Columbia too. I think when we did the show in Columbia, Maryland, we talked about how it was kind of this master plan community, much like where we used to live in Peachtree City, Georgia. And so I think that's one thing probably that sets Columbia apart, where there's been some forethought around how the city is arranged even before it was built, instructed. So think about it in that context, right? And so it's kind of like I think the term we used was suburban urban, where there's a certain level of density in Columbia, even though it's a kind of a far-reaching suburb, but everything is kind of like super planned, right? So just in terms of where the homes are, where the townhomes are, where the commercial spaces are, right? Kind of set up in maybe it's kind of a semi-village concept, right? It's, hey, you got the cleaners, you got the grocery store, you got kind of the services that you need in your respective pod, right? And so there are park spaces for the children, those kinds of things, right? So Columbia is super dope. Tracy and I lived in Peachtree City many years ago, and it just the whole vibe out there reminds me of that piece, right? Yeah, Tyson's Vienna is dope as well, right? And so Tracy and I live in Northern Virginia, so we spend a lot of time in Tyson's. Vienna is a little bit further out, but from an affordability perspective, it may be more in line with what you're looking for, and it's not super far, right? I think Metro goes out there as well, and so it's a typical kind of cool Northern Virginia suburb. I've got a couple friends that live out in Vienna, so really cool, and it's just like almost next door to Tyson's. And so what I like about Tyson's is there's not a lot of the shopping is great, and there's some residential there as well.
Tyson's is on the come up. It's considered a new area. We say Tyson's now. They don't want you to say Tyson's Corner. So if you're gonna be here, don't show your newbiness. So is that a new word, newbiness? So you okay? So Tyson's is the new word. They're actually trying to make it more of a town. The capital. Cap One is building their headquarters there, and I just read an article. I didn't get a chance to put it in today's show, but they're building like a 2-acre park on a rooftop kind of thing, kind of like the High Line in New York. It's going to be kind of like that. It's going to have like a beach volleyball area, a dog park, and real cool features to it. So they're really, really trying to make it more of a live, work kind of play feel in Tyson. So you'll be really on the edge of that. Pemmit Hills is a cute neighborhood near Tyson's too. Check out Pemmit Hills, Pimmitt. And don't, look at that area too. Don't let your real estate agent, steer you around that area. Pemmit Hills is a really cool area. It's a little bit closer in. Vienna is nice also. I really like Vienna. You're going to find oldish homes there. You might be able to find new fill-ins or even townhomes there. And that's what you're going to see. If you see new homes there, it's going to be townhomes. Kimio. Speaking of brunch, I hear the DMV is amazing for brunch. Woo! This is the brunch capital, y'all. It is the brunch capital. Just go. If you put in, I'm sorry, I do TikTok. So if you do TikTok, we're gonna start a TikTok channel too soon. But if you do TikTok, put in DMV brunch, I think, and you'll find there's just so many. Now we are older, so we pick different spots. The young crew, they get in there, they in there for hours getting drunk. And that's a normal thing in DC for people to be drunk in the middle of the day because you can't party at night here. It's really different, but you can't party at night here in neighborhood kind of areas. So everybody gets drunk during the day. It's very normal. And it's okay. You just go home and sleep it off, and then you go out and you have a wonderful dinner later on. What's nice about it is when you go out for dinner later on, it's very subdued, very just, very high class, just very, very, whatever. But get used to drunk people in the day.
They do a little day drinking. The term, in case you haven't heard the term, we mentioned it on the show before. The darty is is definitely a DC term, a DMV terminology, right? And so essentially, a darty is a daytime party. And so you do have lots of those kinds of things. And then to Tracy's point, the brunch vibe kind of carries over, right? Sometimes it can become a darty. And so yes, the mimosas and all the other kind of cool drinks are definitely flowing at brunch. The food is great. A lot of different restaurants have their own spin on brunches. Is not like hey, all the brunches are the same. Like there are actually a lot of different things happening with brunch and some brunch spots in DC, right? And so very dope. Yes, the brunch capital is in full effect, no doubt. Shopping district. What do you want to say about the shopping district?
Yeah, I'm not a shopper. I'm just not a shopper. I do home things and I do self care things. So, but shopping is Tyson's Corner. We talked about this a little bit last week. You got the Galleria out there, which is more high end. Well, no, which it is high end. You've got the high end stores that Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Christian Louboutin, just high end. Then you've got Tyson's Corner and Tyson's Corner 2, which is like combined. Now you got, your regular stores, Nordstrom, Macy's, Lord and Taylor, places like that. I think Lord and Taylor. I don't know. See, I don't shop, y'all. So I think,
Places downtown you talked about, like in
yeah, and then you got City Center in downtown DC. There's a standalone Saks Fifth Avenue in Chevy Chase. It's a standalone building, been there for years.
I think it was closed last time we drove past.
No, it wasn't closed. They just had it like boarded up or something. But I think it's back open. It's not going anywhere. They're closing Saks Fifth Avenues all over the country. They're not closing that one, just to give you an idea. So shopping is not an issue here at all. High end shopping is not an issue here. The only issue is you're gonna have to wait to get into the store. The Tiffany and Companies in Tyson's Corner is a line outside of it. Same thing with the LV store, the Gucci store.
We see that sometimes too in Georgetown. You buzz through Georgetown during the day. You'll see maybe a line outside of the Nike store, some other places that are like popular right now that are on trend. So, but it's the panorama, right? So,
Yeah, they're only going to like I said, we're very careful here in the DMV. They're only going to let so many people in the store. So the high end designer stores, there are a lot of people here that make a lot of money. So order it online. I I don't know what to tell you. Order online if you want to see it in person. The only place I haven't seen, no, I actually saw a line outside the Hermes store. Believe it or not, it's just so weird right now. Not sure if you dress. Oh, let's see. So tons of shopping, tons of eating brunch, and you're gonna be drinking at brunch. It's not gonna be. You're gonna be drinking. They don't just have Bloody Marys and mimosas either. I can't wait.
and if you're not a drinker, then you can go and enjoy these beautiful environments and the vibe, and just don't drink.
We're going to a darty. I can't wait. We had to pay. You gotta. Oh, that's the other thing, guys. If you're gonna go to a darty, you have to get VIP. Just put your coins out there. Get VIP. Go on Event Noir, or Event Bright. But Event Noir is for people of color. No, I hate that term. Black people. Event Noir, and you'll see a lot of little cool things to go to. But we're going to a darty. We're going to a darty in a couple weeks. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And we got VIP tickets. I'm so excited because I don't have to stand around and wait for my food and all. I hate that.
Y'all know Queen Trace and I have been out here on the scene for a minute, so you get to a certain stage, certain level in life. It's just like, no, we don't do the lines and the standing outside and waiting to get in, and we next level when it comes to that kind of stuff. Oh, it's all right, baby. Not sure if you addressed the living in National Harbor. Yeah, Jessica, we've done. Thanks for we haven't. We talked about Navy Yard and that. Oh, National Harbor is on the PG County side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we haven't done a deep dive into National Harbor actually, right? So we touched on it a couple times, right? With the yeah, that is a good one to talk about. Yeah, Oxon Hill, Maryland is sort of the area, right? Back in the day when we were at Howard, Oxon Hill was like very residential. My boy actually had a aunt that lived over there. We spent a little time over there with his aunt and cousins at a cookout and that kind of thing. And so they really went into kind of the water facing element of Oxon Hill, right, and just like cleared that joint out, and it was completely redeveloped. It is so beautiful over there, right, and so there's a ton of like shopping, level of nightlife, restaurant, the whole thing that's right there along the river, right? Beautiful views of the Woodrow Wilson Bridge and lots of water views, and so it's super dope. We'll definitely do kind of a highlight of that here down the road, but yeah, maybe we'll do that next weekend. Kind of get into National Harbor area, but yeah, it is beautiful over there, no doubt. Hmm. Yeah, Logan. I love this. I love this comment here. Right, the unique aesthetic of each part of the DMV offers. Right, a million different vibes. You're absolutely right. That's definitely one of the things that we love about it. Um, Atlanta is like that to an extent where but since we're talking about the DMV, what I love about this statement that Logan has here is that essentially it can be whatever it is that you want, right? Whatever it is that you envision for your life, right? So you can see why Tracy and I kind of dubbed the show "Design Your Life." Is that it really is all about you and your personal situation, right? Hey, I've got children. I need to do this. I need to do that. Hey, maybe I'm in a different stage of life. I want to live in the city proper and do kind of some of the cultural things in the restaurant and the whole kind of vibe situations around brunch and darties and so forth, right? Maybe you want a combination of. Maybe you want to make sure that you have access to the city, but you don't want to necessarily live like in the city. Hey, maybe you're in a place where, hey, I just want a kind of a quiet, comfortable life, but I like to get to that DC vibe when I want, right? So maybe I want to go further out to Hagerstown or somewhere else, have a little space, have some land, have kind of like this serene thing. And then, hey, I got some people coming into town and I want to show them a good time. Okay, we're going to get in the car and we're going to roll into DC. We're going to spend a day doing the museums and some restaurants and some brunch and the whole vibe, right? And so it's a plethora of options, and that definitely is one of the things that we love about it, right? Where you have these multicultural scenarios, all these cool things that are happening in terms of it being the seat of our country's government and so forth. So, completely agree, Logan. Great statement, great comment. Soft soap, what's going on? Can you each say something you love about each other? Oh, I love everything about Queen Tracy. I love the way she looks. I love the way she kisses.
Let me start. Let me tell y'all something. Because you're not ready. You're not ready. I'm more transparent than you are.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby.
So, my husband is probably, when we met, he's probably the most confident person I had met at Howard University. And I would have to say that's the first thing that I loved about him. When I was at Howard, guys didn't really approach me much. It was always my friend like you know. You see that guy over there? You know he in your class, you know. Or out of the blue, why are you dating him? I thought you were gonna date me. It's like I didn't know you like me. So that's how it was when I was in college. Guys were scared to talk to me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I was really nice. But anyway, I was really nice. I don't know. But Heath had no problem talking to me whatsoever. And it was just like, oh, this is so much fun. And so that was the first thing I liked about my husband. The second thing that I can think of that I love about my husband is he is an amazing father. He loves me. He has no qualms about telling me what he loves about me daily. And it is refreshing. As women, we need that. And I wouldn't say reassurance, but just an understanding of why are you with me? You know? And he loves literally unconditionally. He knows my pain points and he knows my spots and he touches them verbally, emotionally, physically. But he is a wonderful person. I don't know one person. Well, let me take that back. I know one person, but I don't know any people that do not like my husband. I feel guilty sometimes when I don't like him because I know everybody loves him. One time Heath interviewed for a job at my with my boss. And after the interview, my boss said, "You know what? I think I like him better than you." And I was like, "Thank you."
I still didn't get the job though.
He didn't get the job. But I felt so hurt. I was like, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. But you guys see what I love about Heath. Heath is a wonderful father. He ain't perfect. People think he's perfect. Our friends be like, "He's perfect." No, no, he is not perfect. But he's mine, and I love that. But he is. I have to say that's what I love about husband. He's perfect. He's a wonderful father. He's a wonderful partner for life. He's my dreamer. I'm not good at dreaming like he is. So he's my dreamer. I'm the doer and he's the dreamer. And that's what we love about each other. We're very flexible when it comes to each other too. What do you love about me?
Wow, let's see how much time do I have. Well, this is my show, so after all, I can take as long as I like.
What y'all think about these 3 to 5 hour lives? It's like y'all ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all, I'll be like watching it. I'm like, y'all still on? Okay, yes they do. Y'all watch live shows on YouTube. This is not the only live show that you. If it's your only live show you watch on YouTube, put a one down there. If you watch more than one live show on YouTube, put how many you watch down there. So y'all see these people with live shows on YouTube. How do they go for? I saw somebody with 5 hours, y'all. I'm like, y'all ain't got nothing else to do. But anyway, baby, what do you love about me?
I love that Tracy's so honest. That she's very frank. That she speaks her mind. That she does not hesitate. Tracy is obviously, guys, just phenomenally intelligent, right? The beauty goes without question. I think that was the first thing that attracted me to Tracy was like I had this thing about like exotic women, I think, right? And so my but I when I was dating, I appreciated women of all ilk, right? And so I've never been like, oh, she got to be dark, or she got to be light, or she got to be in between, or whatever, right? But I always had this affinity for like exotic looking women for whatever reason, and so I think that that wasn't what I was thinking about consciously, but maybe subconsciously. I was like, man, she looks different. I love that, right? And she has this beautiful smile, still does, right? It just beams, it just like penetrates you, and so that also caught my eye. And then her vibe, right? Everything about Tracy is. I ain't get to the body yet, baby. The energy that she has, right? So Tracy was a cheerleader in high school. In case y'all can't figure that out, right? So Tracy cheers me on. She cheers on our children, right? She's like the cheerleader for everyone in the house, and I love that about her, right? Because the vibe, the energy is always up, and Tracy is consummate WYSIWYG, right? So that was a real estate term. We use that in tech sometimes, right? But WYSIWYG is an acronym for what you see is what you get. And Tracy is definitely WYSIWYG. So that's another cool thing, right? Just in terms of the authenticity, right? We talk about that a lot in the internet spaces that, hey, be authentic, be yourself, and right, your vibe attracts your tribe and that whole thing. And so we feel that about you guys as well, right? And so we love that you're here that you rock with us, and that we are being our authentic selves, right? So you guys can probably sense, right? There are no airs here. There's no like pretend, or this is just us just sharing and caring. And so, those are other things that I love about Tracy. But she's so phenomenally smart. Which you can see kind of the level of this show that we're executing in our private time, right outside of our 9 to 5s. And Tracy is a producer of this show, so you can see just the job that she does and the level in corporate. We call it a high bar, right? She has a high bar for everything that she does. She's all about excellence and everything in her life. It has to be on point, or she ain't gonna do it, right? She's gonna dive into it. She's gonna research. I always poke at her because I call her like a frustrated attorney. Because for those of you that don't know, that Tracy was a political science major at Howard University, and so she literally was going to be Kamala Harris, probably, right? And so we got together and we started having a family, and so she diverted those plans that she had. But Tracy knows how to research, how to dive into information, how to share data, how to take complex things, make them simple so that you can
That's what you
understand.
love about me?
I love that about
Oh
you.
my
Absolutely. Right.
gosh.
This show is such a great example, right? We're taking a lot of information, right?
I
A
think
lot of
that's
data
amazing.
points. We're able to dive into things and share and execute, help people get to the things that they need to. But yeah, the last thing obviously is her physical beauty as well. Not that it's last, but definitely the how should I say, the brown skin on my brown skin.
Okay,
Uh,
that's enough of that.
yeah, we're gonna leave that right there. But yeah, I think so. You start thinking about just like a life partner, and I was one of those people who were like, man, I got something right here. Like, yo, I don't have to get married, but I sure want to, right? And so I'm like, yo, I'm not saying. I think I told Tracy's aunt one time, I haven't found anything that I don't like about her. She said, Aunt Lee, when I was sharing that with Aunt Lee, I said I haven't found anything I don't like about her, right? And so I think that's what you're looking for, right, in a mate, is that to Trace's earlier point, nobody's perfect, but when you can find someone who's perfect for you, that is what you want, right? And so you can obviously see our yin and yang, our energy, our kind of opposites attract, and that's what you have with Heath and Tracy. So 4 children, 31 years, we rocking to the end. So there you go. Thanks for the question. So in closing,
Remember,
wherever you're going, don't just live there.
design your life there. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy the long weekend.